What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. If you click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers to react to, so click the damn link. Now, with that being said, today we are here to have a nice little discussion about The Flash and its box office destruction, right? So The Flash was considered to be a box office success. Like, I personally thought that this movie was going to hit it out of the park. I mean, you got Michael Keaton, you have The Flash, you have multi-universe ideas, you had all of this hype behind it. You have people theoretically being added into the movies, and some of those rumors turned out to be true, and they had a whole lot of hype going behind it. This is one of the most popular comic book stories in the DC comic book world. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the more popular storylines. And it was even translated into a very popular animated movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, when I hear about the greatest comic books in DC, I hear The Killing Joke and you hear Flashpoint a lot, right? You hear this a whole lot. So it's really surprising that this adaptation was not as well received as we thought. Like, it's kind of like mimicking what we thought was going to happen with Batman versus Superman. But let's go ahead and get into the numbers. So the Flash movie did about 140 million worldwide. All right. It's not really great considering that this movie has a 240 million dollar budget, and that's not considering all the advertising and anything that went into marketing. So let's say about 300 million plus in order for this movie to even break even, right? It's under the green right now. And we know that you don't really see a huge influx of sales after the movie's opening week. You usually see it dwindling down, right? And I can see that definitely happening with this movie. And this movie is starting to look like a complete, utter bomb. It looks like it's going to fail at the box office. It looks like they're going to lose money on this movie, definitely. And the 240, I don't even think that counted into the reshoots or anything else that was done after the fact of the movie, once the movie was completed, right? This is a huge box office failure for DC, and it is really just staying within the realm of what's expected with DC. Like, they had the Joker, which was very successful, and it spawned a sequel. And that sequel will be hitting movie theaters, I think, by next year. You had the Batman, which was also pretty well received. It did pretty good. But then it's crazy when you're comparing this to Marvel, which I hate doing, by the way. A lot of Marvel's lower budget, a lot of Marvel's lower tier products have been very successful, right? You have Guardians of the Galaxy pulling in about 800 million. You have Doctor Strange, which is not a lower level property, that also pulled in about 800 million. You have Shang-Chi, you have the Eternals, they pull in at about 400 million. And most of Marvel's, even what did I say, Thor? I'm not even sure if I said Thor, but Thor pulled in about 800 million. These are very successful properties, even though that Marvel feels like it's falling off, but financially doesn't look that way. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, also almost 800, 900 million, right? So almost crossing that $1 billion mark. This is what I'm talking about. Like, even though Marvel movies honestly are not really that good, they still make a shit ton of money, and this is what's come to be expected. Their fucking Spider-Man movie made $1 billion. These are Marvel just has established its fan base, and it knows what to do with it. The Flash, on the other hand, to me, the Flash isn't like a hugely popular character. He doesn't have the appeal of a Spider-Man. The reason why Batman movies do so well is because everybody knows what the fuck Batman is. Batman is beloved. You know what I'm saying? He's like literally DC Spider-Man. You can put that dude in a movie and it's going to just blow, and not to mention that once this movie, and it's crazy because this movie came in with a whole lot of hype. There was a lot of positive reviews for The Flash from critics and people that were able to see it early, like the regular audience's reaction to it. So it's really surprising that this movie was not as successful as I really thought it was going to be. I thought that this movie and Batman versus Superman financially should have done a whole lot better than what we really got. So what does this mean? In all actuality, this means absolutely nothing, because what the Flash movie was considered to do is basically kind of shepherd out the old DC, and it's kind of like bringing in the new DC, right? It's a farewell tour in a way, you know. It's a farewell tour to the old DC, the old Snyderverse. That's gone. That's out of here, and it's shepherding in James Gunn's new DCU. So I mean, I at the end of the day, like, what does this mean in the scope of things? It doesn't mean much. You know what I'm saying? They're going to lose some money. Facts. They shouldn't have lost money, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Like, you know, we'll see what James Gunn is able to do. But to me, it's kind of hard because, I mean, look at the failure of this movie, and I want to really see what Aquaman's going to do. Aquaman came in swinging. You know, that's $1 billion movie, surprisingly. So let's see if the sequel can replicate it. But at the same time, we've waited for so long. Does this mean that waiting for the Aquaman movie will that affect this box office? Who knows? But me personally, I'm not a fan of Aquaman as a character. I'm not a fan of Jason Momoa. I have not seen the first Aquaman, so I really don't give a shit. But I will say I am somewhat excited for Blue Beetle. So let's see what we get. But that's just me, just kind of like rambling and looking. I really believe that this movie shouldn't have been a box office failure, but it is what it is. It's a failure. It flopped at the box office. We got to keep it a buck here. So that's all I got. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with everything I said. Let me know if you guys predicted Flash to be a box office failure. I personally didn't. I didn't believe the numbers when I saw the numbers. Everybody's like, "Yo, this movie is projected to be about this much," you know. And I thought maybe, possibly, but it was the biggest thing that came out this weekend. What did it compete with? The Blackening. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I really thought that this movie would bring in way more money, especially because it's an IMAX type movie. But I mean, that's all I got. So let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comments section down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a magnificent day. Adios, homies.